Last week, we looked at what does the Bible say about how we deal with injustice and dealing with the poor, the widows, the orphan, and the needy. Today, I want to wrap up that concept with some practical ways that we can care for the poor and the oppressed so that we can walk and manifest the Spirit of Jesus under the authority of our King Jesus in our daily life.
Welcome to the HHP Podcast. My name is Franke, and I am the senior pastor of HFF.church in Oklahoma City. Join me and others from around the country as we talk all things Bible, church, and family. We may be right, we may be heretical, but that's for you to decide. Drop a like, a share, a comment, subscribe, and let's get to it.
Last week, we concluded with the reading from James 2:15 through 16. And we talked about how James in his writing doesn't require wealth, that he requires obedience when dealing with those who are in need. And so this week I want to look at what does that actually look like in real life? You know, all of us can think of an interaction we've had with somebody. You know, we just came out of the holiday season, and we can think of all the people who we came into interactions with. It's not just the people who stand on the street corner or the people who are at the food banks or the food shelter. We encounter people every single day in our life, including in our own family and our church family, who would fall under the biblical definition of those who are widows, orphans, foreigners, or those in need. And so first, I want to encourage you. Proverbs 31:8 says, "Open your mouth for the mute, for the rights of all who are destitute." So one of the first things we can do is just to open our eyes, look around us, I like to say, like, we're being opportunistic. We're looking for opportunities for the Lord to give us ways to manifest his character in this world. A lot of times we kind of like close our eyes to it and we act like we don't see it. But if you are intentional about opening your eyes and being present in what the Lord might be doing around you, it's important. So we need to pay attention. We need to learn the stories that are happening in our communities. This is why our church loves to partner with other churches. We can't be everywhere, and we don't need to be everywhere, but we can partner with people who are doing things in our community so that we can then partner with them in the mission field they have. Poverty is not always loud. It's often hidden. You know, one of the things that I've seen in pastoral ministry is it's easy to point out the person who's homeless on the side of the road. What isn't easy is for the people who are struggling financially with food, with clothing in your very church. 2, let's share what we have. Acts 2:45, going all the way back to 2023 and the massive changes at HFF. That whole chapter was a big part of what we did. But it says that they sold their property and possessions to give to anyone who has a need. At some point in time in our life, everybody is going to have a need. It's not just about guilt. It's about being generous and practicing generosity. Your time, your food, your skills, transportation, a listening ear, all of them count as resources you have. And that then helps us practice hospitality. Romans 12:13, Paul's letter to the Romans says, "Contribute to the needs of the saints and seek to show hospitality." Justice often begins at the table, where you invite people in. You create space for dignity, not just charity. Most people are not looking for just a handout. They're looking to be seen, heard, and loved. And that should cause us to want to advocate for those who feel like they have no voice. Proverbs 24:11 says, "Rescue those being led away to death. Hold back those staggering towards slaughter. Speak when silence would be easier. Stand when those who cannot stand try to stand alone. And give consistently, not occasionally. Whoever has 2 tunics is to share with him who has none." The Gospel of Luke. Justice isn't just seasonal. It's not just when we do a clothing drive or a canned food drive. This is to become a rhythm and a pattern and a cycle of life. We see this with Jesus. Jesus did not outsource his compassion to a team lead or a deacon or a pastor. In Luke 4, it says, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has anointed me to proclaim the good news to the poor and to set at liberty those who are oppressed." The kingdom of heaven and the kingdom of God advances when the broken people are restored, not when they are ignored. And to follow Jesus is to walk where he walks. And he walked towards the suffering, not away from it. So family, I encourage you, care for the poor, confront injustice. It's not about saving the world. It's about bringing the kingdom of heaven to this world, because justice that walks, mercy that lives, and faith that shows up, this is the way of the kingdom of heaven.
If this podcast has blessed you, please consider supporting by visiting our website and making a donation. For more resources, blogs, podcasts, please visit us at HFF.church. Looking for a church home? Join us for Saturday Church in OKC every Saturday morning starting at 10:30.